Good evening, friends. Welcome. So, today I am back with another very tricky data sufficiency question. All right, let's have a look at the question. So, it says that if square root of xy is equal to xy, then you have to find the value of x plus y. Okay, followed by two statements that are given. So, like usual, every time you're given some information in the question stem, we first analyze that information and see if that can be simplified. Okay, so let's do that here itself. So let's first try and simplify the statement given in the question stem. So it says that square root of xy is equal to xy. Okay, how can you simplify this? So let us square both sides first. So when you square this side, you get rid of the square root. So you are left with xy. And then you're squaring x and y. So let's write it as xy whole square. All right. Now, what else can be done? Let's subtract x into y from both the sides. So when you subtract xy from both the sides, so from left hand side you'll be left with 0, and from right hand side you will have xy whole square minus xy is equal to 0, isn't it? Now what else can we do? Let's take xy common from, let us take it out, okay, because this xy term is common to both the expression. And then inside you will have xy minus 1, and that is equal to 0. So what does it mean? Whenever the product of two numbers is equal to 0, it means that either this term is 0 or this term is 0, or both the terms are 0. So let us first analyze xy is equal to 0. So when you say xy is equal to 0, it means that either x is equal to 0 and y is not equal to 0, or y is equal to 0 and x is not equal to 0. Okay, or both, x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. So this is or any of these conditions are possible. Similarly, if you just look at xy minus 5, what do you get here? Xy minus 1 is equal to 0. So let's simplify this equation. So if I add 1 on both the side, I will get xy is equal to 1, or I can write it as x is equal to 1 by y. That means x and y both are reciprocal of each other, isn't it? So in order for this, like this information actually implies that either x is equal to 0 or y is equal to 0, or both x and y equal to 0, or there are so many ors, or x and y are reciprocal of each other. In all these four situations, holds good for this particular equation. Okay, so this is what we know about xy. It could be either of these four, but we don't know for sure what is the exact value of x or y. All right, for that we need to move on to the statement. So let me first, as usual, first you simplify the question stem and then you go to the statements. So let's go to the first statement, okay, and consider that information that's given in that. So it says that x is equal to minus 1 by 2. Now this statement gives you the exact value of x, which is minus 1 by 2. So now from here, can we get an exact value for y? Okay, so you see, if x is equal to minus 1 by 2, what are the different possible values for y? So if x is minus 1 by 2, that means if x is not equal to 0, even then y can be equal to 0, right? So I can say that one of the values is going to be 0 here. Is there any other possible value for y? Yes. What is the other possibility? Now we know that x and y are reciprocals of each other. So if minus 1 by 2, the reciprocal of minus 1 by 2 is going to be minus 2, right? So you see, both are the possible values here. So we are not getting a unique value for y. So that means we are not getting a unique value for x plus y. There are two possibilities for x plus y. Okay, so since we are not getting a unique answer, a definite answer, this statement is insufficient. So every time question asks for a specific value in data sufficiency question, we always need to have a unique answer, a definite answer. If we get more than one answers, then with the help of some statement, then that statement is always considered to be insufficient because we are not getting a definite answer using that. All right, so for that reason, this statement is insufficient. Now, what happens when first we consider first statement, it is not sufficient, we go to the second statement, right? So now let us go to the second statement, and it says y is not equal to 0. So it is given that y is not equal to 0. Now forget about this first statement. We are going to raise it from our memory. So the only thing we need to do is to consider the stem information and then consider the statement to be true. So now we are given that y is not equal to 0. Now from this information, can we get the value of x? Again, x could be 0, or there are infinite possibilities for y value, right? Since x and y are reciprocal of each other, there could be infinite possibility. There is actually infinite possibility for x. So clearly this statement does not give us any definite answer for x plus y. So for that reason, even statement 2 alone is not sufficient. Okay, so this is insufficient. Now, what happens next? You consider statement 1 alone, it was not sufficient. You consider 2 alone, it was not sufficient. So the third step is to join them. Okay, so when we join them, okay, and consider them together. So let us consider the information given in both the statements. So statement 1, so from the statement 1, we know that the exact value of x is minus half. Now depending on this value, we concluded here that y could either be 0 or minus 2, isn't it? Now if you look at the statement 2, which is given as y is not equal to 0. So you can clearly see that y is not equal to 0. Since y is not equal to 0, okay, we can definitely say that the only possible value in this case would be minus 2. So you see, when you combine both the statements together, you can actually get a definite answer for x plus y. Since you are getting the definite answer for x plus y, combining both the statements, so both the statements when taken together are sufficient to answer the question. And which option gives you that? It's the option C. I hope this helped. Thank you.